Hello horror fans and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos, and we're at it again. We've answered your call and we're going to do our utmost to bring you the best of the best when it comes to horror cinema. As always, I'll be your fellow horror fan Jack Finch as we power up the VCR, close the curtains and flick out the lights and take a look at the top 5 scary movies you need to pray before watching part 3. Roll the clip. Wait. Now guys, I can't thank you enough for the love that this series has gotten. As you know, I'm a huge fan of horror cinema and it means the world to me that we can share and discuss some of the creepiest stuff that the silver screen has to offer. That being said, you guys keep upping the ante when it comes to shock factor, so it goes without saying that some portions of this list are not for the faint-hearted, so please hold very firmly onto your hats. Also guys, as I've said in parts 1 and 2, you can pray to whoever you like, it's down to you. Let's just enjoy some horrific horror fandom in peace, eh? Before we do that though folks, you know how it goes. If you're a fan of this video, horror cinema, this series, or just top 5 scary in general, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up because you know how much we appreciate it. Also ding that subscribe bell so you can stay up to date with our latest and greatest uploads. Kicking off at our number 5 spot, Get Out. No. And I've been biding my precious time before putting this film into this series because I hope that it doesn't go without saying this film is one of the greatest pieces of cinema to creep up on the horror genre in over a decade. I don't say this lightly, it's fantastic and Jordan Peele is a genius. If you haven't seen it, please stop what you're doing right now and go and watch it. After hitting our screens in 2017, Jordan Peele's directorial debut took critics by storm as a well-timed and fresh new take on the psychological horror genre. In essence, it's a very simple plot. It focuses on a black man who uncovers a disturbing secret when he meets the family of his white girlfriend. It pulls no punches in its very deliberate manner, and as the slow facade of what appears to be a psychological thriller gets pulled back, the true terror of what lies beneath is revealed. Daniel Kaluuya, who plays the lead character Chris, absolutely knocks this role out of the park. I've been a fan of his since his time at Skins, a show that aired in Britain way back when in 2007. What's up Posh Kenneth? If this film has done anything other than being just a damn good horror flick, it's paved the way for Jordan Peele to completely flip the industry on its head. And if the rumours about his newest film are true, Us, which is planned to be released in 2019, then I think we're witnessing the emergence of a true horror legend. Let's hope, eh? Swinging in at number 4, Mum and Dad.
It's Christmas! Christmas, Christmas, that's all we want. It's Christmas, Christmas.
And it really pains me to put this film on this list. It really does because it's messed up. But like I said in the intro, you guys just keep up in the ante. What do you expect? Also, this will be the first of 2 British indie horror films to make this list. Can you guess which is next? I'll give you 10 points if you do. What am I talking about? I don't know. I'm just really trying to avoid talking about this film because honestly guys, it's messed up. I'm warning you. Also, don't get this film confused with Nicolas Cage's Mum and Dad because you'll be in for a real surprise. Released in 2008, it was the directorial debut for Stephen Shield, who has kind of gone under the radar since but actually makes some fantastic horror. It's very, very easy to chalk this film off as just another product of the gore porn overhype of recent years, but while yes, it very much is that, there's also so much more to this film, and that's down to some standout performances from Perry Benson and Dido Miles, who play Dad and Mum respectively. Going into this film knowing nothing about it is probably the best course of action, and you will probably have the exact same reaction as I did and still do to this day. Don't say I didn't warn you. And next up at our number 3 spot, Creep. The second part of our British indie horror back to back, and it's down to you to decide which one is scarier, but for me, it's Creep. No, not the 2015 movie of the same name by Mark Duplass, which is actually really damn good, but the 2005 British creature feature from Christopher Smith, the man responsible for both Severance, which is awesome, and Triangle, which, it's still pretty good. give them a try. I'm not sure whether it's because I watched this movie constantly as a teenager, showing it to the newest friend just to watch their reaction, but Creep is a seriously well-made horror, which it makes it even crazier that this film received absolutely scathing reviews, because in all honesty, I'm not sure why. It's everything you want in a horror B movie. It has a simple plot with a simple function, it has a dynamic and responsive cast, and the creature, the creep, well, I'll let you see for yourself. Also, our final girl, Kate, played by Franca Potente, is a welcome spin on the usual stereotype that carries the film naturally on its course. It's well paced, it's got an equally eerie score, and it will make you think twice the next time you head into a subway. Give it a look-see. Coming in next at our number 2 spot, The Devil's Backbone. And I will give this film the credit it deserves, because it's brilliant in every right. Really, not just as a horror film, but as a piece of cinema. And while it may not be the style of horror we're more commonly used to, it offers something more. It's almost gothic in its scale, almost more akin to Turn of the Screw than it is to Friday the 13th. Released in 2001, it was the 3rd film in Guillermo del Toro's repertoire, and probably one of his best films to date. It was also independently produced by Pedro Almodovar, the man that brought us The Skin I Live In, so the pedigree is pretty high. Also, I'd just like to clearly state that any of Del Toro's horror works could make this list, particularly The Orphanage and Mama, but this one's just my favourite. The Devil's Backbone manages to weave several threads codependently, all of which come together towards the film's horrifying end. Like with most of the points on this list, I don't want to spoil anything for you if you haven't seen it, but the key to remember when watching this film is its atmosphere. Every lingering shot, every slow pan is crammed with the creepy, slow sense of dread surrounding not only the orphanage that it takes place in, but the wider backdrop of the Spanish Civil War and the ghosts that continue to haunt the past. Really, a fantastic piece of horror cinema. Give it a watch. And finally, coming in at our number 1 spot, Antichrist. Oh, Lars von Trier, where do I even begin with you, dude? Honestly, I don't even know how to begin with this film, so I'll try and start with its origin. Lars von Trier, perhaps Denmark's most prolific and controversial filmmaker of all time, wrote the synopsis for this film after he'd been hospitalized for a significant manic depressive episode, and is largely influenced by his own struggles with anxiety and depression. And that's really the only place that we can jump off when trying to discuss this film, because otherwise it just becomes a complete and utter horror show of the grotesque and otherwise unholy. And I guess we as an audience would be missing the point. Released in 2009, Antichrist deals with some very horrific issues, interwoven with idioms and metaphors from religion and folklore in an attempt to explain the unexplainable, the way that the human brain deals with itself. It's incredibly violent, it's incredibly disturbing, and it's possibly the most insightful psychological horror film ever made. I don't say that lightly. Still, even after saying all that, I still don't know how to begin talking about this film, so I guess you'll just have to watch it. Well folks, I've tried my utmost to make this list as fresh as possible for you all. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying this series. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today, horror fans. Tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of horror. If you've been a fan of this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up as well as that subscribe bell so you can stay up to date with our latest and greatest uploads. As always, I've been your host, Jack Finch. You've been watching Top 5 Scary Videos, and until next time, well, you take it easy.